mes amis, ça va? Okay, this is Bairam, and once again in the champion series of fantastic French fundamentals by Robomate. And this time, I am going to bring to you a super topic, E, ou, en. The two pronouns, sometimes used even as adverbs, E and en. How do we distinguish between the two? When do we place which one? My friends, let's move on and look at the identification, the first challenge. Yes, the pronoun E means there. So obviously answers the question, where after the verb? Where, in where, to where, all is going to be E. Whereas the pronoun or replaces either a number or a quantity plus noun. It replaces the noun, not the number and quantity. Or replaces the combination of indefinite or partitive article plus noun. Or replaces the preposition de plus noun. Absolutely. So even if it is from some place, de Paris, even though you would say Paris, would answer the question where, but because there is a de, we will use en and not e. Fantastic, my friends. The next is the substitution. Finally, the placement. I want you all to remember what we have learnt. Bin con except imperfect. Bin con means before infinitive or conjugated verb except immediately after the hyphenated imperative affirmative only. Now, sir, what about when e and a are together? What will be the final order? Which comes before which one? Here we are. Order of multiple pronouns. Whenever there is an infinitive or a conjugated verb, it is nota sa nouveau, before la la le, before louis le, immediately before e, immediately before a, immediately before the infinitive or the conjugated verb. You can refer to our presentation on pronouns for that. But in the imperative affirmative, can you see the first two columns have swapped? So instead of Mata sa nouveau before Lalale, you have Lalale before Mua tua sa nouveau, because Mua becomes Mua and Ta becomes Tua after the imperative affirmative. Then you have Luiler, then you have E, then you have A, and finally it is all going to be after the hyphenated imperative affirmative. What are we waiting for? Let's move on to become champions. Here are my 5 sentences. Il y achètera du pain. Je ne l'ai pas mise sur la table. Ne lui donne pas de lait. Pierre les apporte à l'école. Donnez-lui des livres. I have purposely taken sentences where not only are you replacing by e or a, but we also have some other pronouns, so even we check our placement rules. Let's look at the first sentence. Il y achètera du pain. Du pain. Identification. It cannot be e. Why? Because it is very clear, indefinite or partitive article plus noun has to be replaced by the pronoun en. Placement. Here we are, my friends. We already know that all will come after e, and in this case immediately before the conjugated verb, and that verb is ashetara. So my answer, as you can see, il e on ashetara. Isn't that fantastic, my friends? That's my answer. My dear friends, let's look at the next one. Je ne l'ai pas mise sur la table. Identification. Where, there, yes, answers the question where after the verb. I did not put it on the table. I did not put what? That is it. Where? On the table. So we are going to replace by e. Placement. Here we are, my friends. There is an L apostrophe, which is, as you can see, highlighted for you. E will come after that. E is treated as a vowel in French. So L apostrophe will remain. Both will come immediately before the conjugated verb avoir, ai. And so my sentence, my correct answer, je ne l'ai pas mise. That E with MIS is because past participle with avoir agrees with the preceding direct object, and that is L apostrophe in the sentence. Fantastic, my friends. Moving on to the third sentence. No Louis don't pas de lait. Identification. Oh, my friends, by now we know this so well. Ever you see indefinite or partitive article plus noun combination, you know you're going to replace by en. Sir, why is it de and why not do? Immediately after a negative, you know that the indefinite article and the partitive article, if it is a direct object, changes to de or d apostrophe, except after etra in the negative. That was de one in articles. Placement, this is the imperative negative, so we follow the normal placement order. Only after the imperative affirmative, we follow the other order. Right now we follow the same order. Louis is going to come before both are going to be before the conjugated verb don. So here is my answer. Ne, Louis, don, pas. My next sentence, my friends. Pierre les apporte à l'école. Where? To school. So, my dear friends, it's so clear. The pronoun e answers where after the verb. Fantastic. And my next part, the placement. And we can clearly see lay is already present in the sentence. E is going to be after lay. And both are going to be immediately before the conjugated verb apport. So my answer, Pierre lays the apport. Peter brings them there. Fantastic, my friends. Looking at this sentence, Donnez Louis de Livre. My dear friends, identification. Remember, en replaces number or quantity plus noun combination. Of course, it does not replace the number or the quantity. It replaces the noun. It's a pronoun. So, placement. Yes, you can see this is the imperative affirmative. Even here, en is always going to be last. So, Donne hyphen Louis hyphen en D. But that D should not be there because you are supposed to replace it. No, my dear friends, you know we are replacing the noun, not the specific quantity. So D is going to be there, and therefore Donne Louis en D is my correct answer. My friends, I hope you've understood when to use E, when to use en. In short, I hope you and I, not just I hope, I'm sure you and I have become champions in E, U, O. God bless you, my friends.